Welcome to the podcast, Speaking to Influence, Communication Secrets of the C-Suite. I'm Dr. Laura Sokola, your host, founder of Vocal Impact Productions, and author of Speaking to Influence, Mastering Your Leadership Voice. On today's episode, I wanted to do something different. The end of the year is upon us, which this time around, most people are pretty happy about, and I wanted the last episode of the year to be packed with inspiration and clear, actionable, results-oriented ideas to help you launch into the new year in a way that will help you to have more and more positive influence in the year and years ahead. Now, part of the regular show is that about halfway through the program, you'll hear the Listener 24-Hour Influence Challenge. And this is where I invite the guests to offer one challenge to invite you as the listener to take one step that they can complete, that you can complete within 24 hours in order to help you have more success and more influence. So in this special episode today, I've created what I'm calling the Best of the Listener 24-Hour Influence Challenge. I've identified 3 common themes among the various different challenges that guests have offered, and I've identified 3 different takes on each of the 3 themes. So you'll be hearing the clips from each of those respective interviews, and hopefully this will give you an array of options to choose from where at least one thing will jump out at you immediately by the end of the show today, where you're going to say, I can do that, and I'm going to do it right now. And that will be the start of something new, positive, and wonderful to launch into the new year. So here we go. The first theme is the theme of developing your own expertise, looking at your strengths, looking at the weaknesses, and deciding your own development plan. So to kick off this theme, I want to go back to episode 32, which was with my guest, Bill Sasso, the chairman of Stradley Ronan. Here's Bill. From there, in episode 31, right before Bill, Brian Buckley, the CEO of Helmand Valley Growers Company, had a slightly more specific take on this theme, and that is about how to pick that developmental goal. Once you've picked a goal for yourself, seeing it through is a bit of a challenge for some of us. So in episode 28, Ijenu Nwosu, who is the head of impact spending for Kaiser Permanente, gave a challenge to help you make sure that you stick to your plan and see it through to develop that particular skill set. Theme number 2 over the course of the program has been the theme of relationship management, how you communicate with others in order to make sure that you get the best results from each other and that your relationship is strengthened while the clarity of your message is maintained. In episode 21, Carolina DiGiorgio, who is president and CEO of Congreso de Latinos Unidos in Philadelphia, specifically addresses the power of words and the importance of verbal generosity. Here's what she says. Balancing out the undeniable value of a compliment in relationship development, in episode 14, Lisa Peskin, the CEO of Business Development University, also addresses the importance of being able and willing to give constructive feedback both clearly and tactfully. Here's how. Beyond giving good information to someone else, the power of a question, as a matter of fact, the power of asking 3 questions, is also something that should not be overlooked. In episode 23, Will Reynolds, the founder and vice president of innovation for Seer Interactive, addresses what he calls the 3-question rule to help you understand someone and specifically their perspective better before offering your own. The third theme that I found in the 24-hour listener challenges circled around the notion of clarity and productivity and how those two things are so interconnected. In episode 2, Ellen Weber, the executive director of Robinhood Ventures, offered what I thought was a really clever framing of it. She says she wants people to kiss her ask, A-S-K, the ask. We all have challenges sometimes when we know that there's something we want to ask for and we should ask for it, but we're afraid to do it. We hold back somehow. Here's Ellen's take on why you need to make that ask and how to do it. Now, if you're struggling to figure out what kind of ask you should make, in episode 9, Marsha O'Connor, the president and CEO of the O'Connor Group, helps you make that decision. She gives you a very specific ask to make in order to get clear on something we often take for granted. Do people really understand what it is that you do? Here's why. And last, but most definitely not least, in episode 24, Debbie Phillips, the president of WFD Consulting, now, in all of these challenges that we've addressed so far, a common side effect, sometimes, shall we say, of engaging in these discussions is that many will result in email volleys, back and forth messages, which can needlessly fill up your inbox and, frankly, eat up much of your productivity in the course of the day. So, in order to curtail that, in episode 24, last but not least, Debbie Phillips, the president of WFD Consulting, helps you with a strategy and a challenge that will make sure that you are able to bring that message thread to a close and simply get back to business. Here's Debbie's challenge. There you have it. 3 themes: developing your expertise, relationship management, and clarity and productivity. So, in the spirit of the 24-hour influence challenge, I hope that at least one of these invitations inspires you to say, hey, I can do that right now. And that I I also hope that as a result, that quick success that you will inevitably gain from it encourages you to try another one, whether it's from the same theme or from a different one, and that continues to pique your curiosity to go back and review what other challenges guests have invited you to try, all with the same generosity of spirit, wanting you to have more influence and greater success overall. They say that it takes about 21 days to create a new habit. So my hope for you is that this invitation helps you to create a new habit of actively listening for and executing the 24-hour listener challenge with each new episode. And that as we head into the new year, this becomes your weekly personal empowerment routine. Listening to the new episode of the Speaking to Influence to listen to the new episode of Speaking to Influence each week and challenge yourself to put that 24-hour listener challenge into action in the next 24 hours, quite literally, to help yourself have greater power and influence. With that, thank you all for tuning in. I invite you to, of course, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, especially with all of those wonderful new listener influence challenges that await. And of course, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, please, so that we can help even more people increase their confidence, presence, and influence. And finally, if you want to download my quick start guide to mastering the 3 C's, command the room, connect with the audience, and close the deal, go to speakingtoinfluence.com. With that, I want to wish you all a very happy, healthy, safe, and prosperous new year. I'm Dr. Laura Sicola, and you're listening to Speaking to Influence, Communication Secrets of the C-Suite. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Laura Sicola, and I want to sincerely thank you for listening to the Speaking to Influence podcast. If you love listening to these episodes as much as I love bringing them to you, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And please go to iTunes right now to rate and review our podcast in order to help us expand our reach so even more people can master the 3 C's to command the room, connect with the audience, and close the deal.
Thanks for listening to Speaking to Influence, Communication Secrets of the C-Suite, the show for leaders who want to speak with impact. The hosts, producers, owners, and media distributors of the show make no guarantees that the strategies and information discussed will result in profit or other success and may result in losses. The opinions and statements of the hosts and guests do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the owners, staff, managers, broadcasters, or sponsors of the show. No medical or psychological therapy or personal or professional wellness or relationship advice is offered in the show. You are advised to seek counsel on matters related to your health, family, relationships, job, or other business and legal matters from licensed advisors in those areas prior to making any changes in business or lifestyle. No information provided may be suitable in your situation. As always, take responsibility for the decisions and actions you take, including the reactions they may make in your work, family, health, and life.